So who are you and who is Guru? Have you ever wondered this thing that who are you? And that's from where we enter into the dimension of Advaita. That am I this body? Am I the one who is thinking, who is having the thoughts, who is actually doing everything? Who am I? Am I just limited to this or something beyond? Until unless you arrive this question, the spiritual quest never begins. This is the purest form of spiritual quest, that who am I? Or you can have the quest that what is this world all about? What is the summum bonum of this world? We can have everything, but exactly what is that one thing which is catering the entire world? So today we are going to just start that dimension. We have to start delving into this dimension. And once you surrender to Guru, these questions come more often. The jigyasa into the Brahman starts, coming to the surface level. And that jigyasa actually came to everyone in past. And that's how we just step forward, one step ahead, and at every step we found something wonderful. And that's why every spiritual scientist, I will call them scientists, they were rishis who were exactly scientists who started with the question. Every text which is there in Vedas, every Upanishad starts with a question, that what is that? Who is this? Who is doing? Who is seeing? Who is witnessing everything? And from that quest, we first started looking outward. That let's look in the outer world and find out that what is this nature all about? How this nature is running itself? What is the energy which is running every being, every creature? What is there which makes the water boil? Why the fire rises up? What is there in the geology of the earth? And that's how the first quest started, to know the outer world and to know to its core that what is the end of everything in the material world. This is called Vaisheshika. So this starts with the inquiry into the outer world, that what is this nature, what is this environment which is there, and it keeps going on until it reaches the point that there is a satta. The word Ishwar or Brahman is not used in Vaisheshika by Maharshi Kanad. He used the word satta. Satta means authority. There is some authority which is existing, which is making every natural force running on its own. And when we look into these natural forces, that first skill of observation came. And we started with this, where we see Western world today. We began with this level almost 5-10,000 years ago, and we found that there is some authority which is actually running everything. Before that, we didn't knew. We only wanted to know why the heat is boiling the water, what is the thermodynamics behind it, why the motion has, what are the laws of motion. Vaisheshika covers all the laws of physics. Even three laws of motions are present here. So what is the gravitational force which is keeping us bound to the earth? Every question which we have in modern science is actually answered here in Vaisheshika. Modern science thinks this pyramid as opposite. This is a pyramid of the philosophy of Indian thought. And we start with modern scientific view, and then we uplift ourselves to that spiritual dimension. modern world, it is opposite. They think Vaisheshika is the highest. It has got the highest scientific facts, and the other things are lowest. That's where the difference of the East and West always comes and they clash. For them, this is where the Vaisheshika is highest, from where the quest of the outer world begins. And we have found out the laws of motion, everything which is there in the external forces. Whereas for us, it was a beginning that, okay, now we have known everything, most of the things about the outer world, and we know that there is an authority which is running everything. From that, second, after that, second dimension opened, which is called Nyaya, which was given by Maharishi Gautam. And he told that the mind and the observation which you are seeing. See, Vaisheshika, if you want just the basic knowledge about every Shad Darshan, I'll just summarize this in one line. Vaisheshika is about observation. Observe everything. Don't reach to conclusion. Now, whatever you have observed, is it true or not true? Is it really that which is causing it or not? Suppose you saw that when you clap, something wrong happens around you. When you clapped, some bad omen happened. So now you think that, okay, my clapping is creating the bad omen. Is it true or not? No, this is just a coincidence. You clapped and some glass fell down, or something happened wrong. That is a coincidence. There is no correlation between the clapping and something wrong which is going to happen. So
संजय कब ले जाओ
your observation, is this,
recording in progress.
is it correct or not? Okay, is your observation correct that whatever I am seeing is actually the cause of that? So that causation, which is actually covered in modern research. In modern research also, we have a theory of causation, that whether this particular thing which we are seeing right now, like this, uh, for example, we say that smoking is a cause of lung cancer. So this is an observation. You observed that everyone who had lung cancer was having a history of smoking. So is smoking really causing the lung cancer, or is it just a coincidence which is existing? So that's how the modern science also evolved. It also thinks that how to arrive at the causation. And we had this second level of knowledge from where we deduce that whatever you have observed, which observation you should keep, which you should discard, is your observation and causation are really matching or not. So we also had this, like we have in today's modern scientific world. This is called Nyaya. Nyaya. Okay. After that, there were some questions which cannot be answered by just some experiment. For example, you can do experiment to prove that the thermodynamic force can cook the food. The steam can rise up because of heat, that steam can cook the food.
I will take 40
You
minutes.
can
I
reach
have
this
time. That's it. I
experiment
will
n number of times. But if I ask you that, what is this universe all about? How this universe was created? Can you prove me by an experiment? No, you cannot do it. Can you replicate the same thing, 1,000 years back or million years back when the universe was created? You cannot do it. We cannot make an experimental thing for these fundamental questions. So today also, if someone proposes a theory that that's how the universe is made up of, and that's how everything has started, like string theory, like we have uh, the other quantum theory, everything which have come up. So how do we take it? How do we accept this theory? That is it really, going, is it really true or not? So for that we close ourselves to something which is fundamentally existing everywhere. So there is an equation of universe. So universe follows the equation where we have four basic energies: the gravitational force, electromagnetic force, weak and strong nuclear force. And there is an equation which is derived, which shows the relationship between these four energies. If any theory fulfills this equation, we accept that okay, this is the fundamental theory, this is the fundamental equation for your theory to actually prove that this is how universe is running. You have to put that in this equation, and that's how, if it comes true, then only we will accept this theory. So that means we have closed ourselves to this thing, and that's why the third level of philosophy is called Mimamsa, Purva Mimamsa, where there is where it is a closed system. So it is often called as a closed system. They have closed themselves in a closet of Veda, that Veda is the highest authority. Whatever you say, you have to prove that it is going in alignment with the Vedas. If it doesn't go in alignment with the Vedas, that thing is not true. So, this is not used for all things which we can prove with some experimental result. But those fundamental questions where we talk about devatas, where we actually derive the theory of universe, where we cannot make any experimental ground for them, we use this branch, Mimamsa, Purva Mimamsa. This is a higher thought. Okay. But then, later on, Maharishi Vyas gave one more branch, that it's okay. Now you have learned that there is an authority. You knew that how, which truth you should take, you should not take, and now you know that okay, you have closed yourself to Vedas to experience everything which is there. But what is beyond the Veda? Definitely, Veda is not wrong, but what is that which is even creating the Vedas? What is that which is a source of Vedas, from where the Veda is flowing itself? I will take you to that thing. I will take you into the inquiry of the entire, creation. I'll take you into the inquiry of Brahman, Athato Brahma Jigyasa. And he gave the Brahma Sutras. And this is there in Uttar Mimamsa, that the entire knowledge, Vedic knowledge, it is coming from something. And I will take you to that. And that is Uttar Mimamsa. After that, Maharishi Kapil came and he gave one more branch, which is called Sankhya. And Sankhya is about counting or differentiating the thing. And that's why we differentiate every layer of creation. That this is body, this is something gross. Beyond that, I have breath, which is making this body alive. Beyond breath, I can see my thoughts coming. Beyond thoughts, I can see something which is saying yes or no to the thought, which is intellect. Even beyond that, I have some impressions. Because of that impression, I have this yes or no thing, which is chitta. And that beyond that chitta, I have something which is holding on to its identity, from where I identify myself, which is ego, ahankar. Beyond that ahankar, there is something which is called mahat, from where the ahankar comes. And mahat is differentiated into purusha and prakriti, from where everything is coming. So that means there is Prakriti and Purusha is witness to it. Purusha is also called Jiva, or Purusha is also called the Atma Tattva. That is Purusha the Brahman or not? This was a question given by Maharishi Kapil in Sankhya. He closed the Sankhya at this point, that everything is Prakriti and Purush. And Purush is witnessing the Prakriti. But is Purush the real authority, which is like God, which is like the supreme being, or Purush is a part of supreme being? From that question, everything else came. So, so we have Madhvacharya's view, who said that no, Purush and Jeev. Purush, Jeev, and Atman, these three things are separate entities. Definitely, they are separate. They cannot be one. The supreme being and the individual being is different because definitely they show different attributes. You do not see the supreme attributes in a jiva. So that's why you have to differentiate them, you have to take them in a different manner. After that, we have the view of, uh, yeah. So after that, we have the view of Dvaita Advaita. In this Dvaita Advaita view, we have a special qualification where we see that the separation is there, but this is not a clear separation. So something, some separation like a shadow which is separating two areas. Is that shadow really separating the two areas or not? So it is like something which is separating which doesn't even exist. So this separation is not a clear separation. This separation is not masked by a clear thing. This is something which is clear, creating an illusion. And after that, we have the view of Adiguru Shankaracharya, the pinnacle of non-dualism, Advaita, that there is no separation at all. Supreme being and the individual being is same. Every individual being is ultimately the part of Supreme Being. And that's why if you see in Jada and Chetan, that means what is living and what doesn't shows the attributes of life. Okay, in both of them, there is one supreme being, which is Brahman, which is everything. So that's how we have actually rose in this pyramid. Okay, we never had this thought far back. Okay, so we have gone through a very long journey of thousands of years to reach this pinnacle, to this point that actually there is everything is Brahman. It is just one consciousness everywhere. It just shows different attributes. It's like a play, it's like Maya where it is playing in its ground, but this is one. Okay, so this is how we have, you know, arose. We have awakened our kundalini to through the highest level where we see everything, one thing in everything. Okay. Now the question of Jiva and Atman comes. That what is Jiva and what is Atma? What is Jiva Tattva and the Atma Tattva? So this image which you are seeing in front of you, this is called the 12 petal lotus of Anahat Chakra. And in that you can see an 8 petal lotus called Ashtadala Padma Chakra. And in that you can see some spark of lightning which is there. According to Upanishads, the the Jeev, okay, which is having self or Atman is like a size of thumb, just like a spark of light. This spark is keeping the body, everything alive. And why this spark is keeping the body alive, why this spark is actually is a spark of life which is creating everything around, how it is creating. So this Anahat chakra which you see, it has 12 petals, and every petal represents one Rashi. So there are 12 zodiac signs, and every zodiac sign is like a petal of this Anahat chakra. This is like the kshetra where the play is going to happen. And who is going to play? Who is going to play? Jiva is going to play. And how Jiva will play here? The Jiva will play here because of the karmas. If Jiva don't have karmas, there is no play at all. So Jiva must have a karma. So these 8 petals are like the 8 grahas or the 8 devatas, Ashta devatas, Digpalas, the guardians of 8 direction. So when this Atma Tattva have a veil of karmas, There is a devata which is gripping it most, which is like a king's grip, and he is going to, bring down all the karmas of this jiva in this lifetime, and it will give this jiva a chance to play in this world. And that's how we see that yes, everything is happening because of this jiva. So this inner spark is like Atman, okay, which is trapped, which you can say, which is veiled in this eight petal lotus, which is like the Jiva Tattva, or we can say call it Jiva. So now can you see the Jiva and Atman? Are they same or different? Is the individual soul and universal soul different or same? And who is actually giving this Jiva? Vishnu is giving that Jiva. So how the creation was done? If you see Shiva Puran, Shiva first appeared from the infinite space, and he created one Shakti, which is called Vishnu Shakti. And he created Brahma from the Nabhi of Vishnu, from navel region he created Brahma. And then he told Brahma that you should create everything. So Brahma Dev just created everything, but who will make this creation alive? So he can make, the structure, but who will give life to this structure? So to give life to this structure, that's where Vishnu, who is Vishnu? What does this word Vishnu means? Vishnu is derived from two words, Vih and Anu. So the power which is there everywhere in every atom, which is pervading in every atom, this is Vishnu. And what is Vishnu doing? He is creating the Jiva. He is creating the Jiva which is covering this Atman Tattva. And that's how we are alive, we are playing in this world. Because this Jiva is created by Vishnu, this Jiva always desire to merge back in Vishnu. There is always a tendency to go back. That's why we feel that spiritual quest, I have to go back. Why? Because we are created by Vishnu. And because of that, we want to merge back. We want to merge back to that creator who is creating us. So sometimes what happens, this Jiva, when it is created, there are two tattvas in it, Atma Tattva and Jiva Tattva. So sometimes the Jiva Tattva is quite less, and quite lot of abundance of the Atma Tattva is added here, which is called an avatar. Which that's why he reflects all qualities of Vishnu. Why we worship Lord Krishna, Lord Rama? Because he is an avatar. Why he is an avatar? Because he has tremendous amount of Jiva, tremendous amount of Atma. That's why he reflects the power of Vishnu. And that's why we take them as avatars who have appeared. So we all have this Jiva Tattva which has desire to go back, to merge back. And that's how the play and interplay of universe is happening because of the karmas. So this is Atman, which is trapped in Jiva, which is sent to this world of Brahma to play. And this is the world of Brahma, which is divided into 12 kshetras, 12, divisions of everything which is non-living. And that life is created by the Jiva. And that's how we all are living. We all are playing. And this Jiva has one thing because of which it plays, that is karmas. So that's how karma, Jiva, Kshetra, everything is playing in itself. But this Jiva has one tendency to merge back. And that's why this entire spiritual journey is, all about. That's why everyone, every guru has always appeared and gave some way to merge it back. Because this is an inner call, this is natural. The Jiva will merge in Vishnu. It has got its source from Vishnu. So what happened? This knowledge which kept every record of spiritual progress, that how to progress in spiritual way, this was there, from thousands of years. And what happened after, you can say, when Lord Krishna passed away? So this account or this method of Jiva, which can make Jiva merge into Brahman, all the spiritual records, practices, they were rotting down. And that's where the downfall of Vedic world started, where the other religions at that time, contemporary religions like Jainism, Buddhism, every other thought, I'm not saying them bad, but they started taking over most of the things, and the entire Vedic wisdom was put aside, that it has no meaning, it is useless. The deeper revelations of Vedas were disregarded, and only the superficial view of word and meaning was taken. And that's how the Vedas were degrading. So at that time, to revive this Vedic wisdom again, there came a saint from Kerala, and he was only 9 years old when he started his 8 years old when he started his journey. And he created that revival of knowledge back. And he is Adi Guru Shankaracharya. He traveled around the world, he traveled around all parts of India. He met every scholar, he had discussions, debate with them. He wrote everything extensively and revived the Vedas back. And that's why we worship him as the highest guru, because he is Shiva himself who is coming. See if you see the body, Brahma is coming in navel region. That's why he arrived from Vishnu's navel. He is there in this Manipur chakra. Anahat chakra is the dimension of Vishnu, from where Vishnu is taking care of entire world. That's why he is compassionate. He is merged everywhere like a mother who is taking care of every world. Then in this chakra we have Rudra, where Abhisheka is happening in Vishuddhi chakra. When you take the breath in and breath out, that's why Akasha is there. In this Akash, every time Rudra Abhishekam is happening, the breath is going in and breath is going out of the throat. Because of that, there is an Abhishekam which is going on in the Rudra Granthi. And when you pay attention to it, what you get? You get the strength, you get the knowledge, you rise above. That's where you get the Ashirvad of Rudras when you do pranayamas. So when you pay attention to this Abhishekam of Rudra which is happening in you, that's where the knowledge starts coming. The Rudra takes you to Shiva, which is there at the higher level. And Shiva has the highest knowledge. Shiva is the Guru, who every Guru which you have is the reflection of Shiva. Okay. So that's why we take Guru as Shiva only, that yes, Guru is Shiva. And he has the task to give you the knowledge to rise you above, to rise you to Shiva. And that's why we we come to the feet of Guru to receive the knowledge, because the feet has got that, the highest chakra which is there. It is like the Guru Paduka chakra, the Sahasrara chakra. Below that there is another chakra. That's why when one does Guru Puja at last, he touch the flower here. Okay, this is the real Guru Paduka which is there. There is a chakra which connects you to the feet of Guru, feet of Shiva. It is called Guru Paduka chakra. So those who do Guru Puja, they know they have to touch the flower last here at this point. And that's where you are doing the Guru Pranam and you are offering that to Guru. So, so how we are rising above, who is taking care of our rise, that we should ascend, we should not fall down, that is Shiva. He is the energy of ascension who takes you above. And who is making you fall down? That's where all the demonic power and Maya, which is created by the Shiva itself, is playing its role. It traps you with something which makes you fall down. Okay. So that's where this mismatch and alignment, disalignment, play of karmas is always okay. So now let's begin the first chapter of Arjun Vishad Yoga, where we should see that what Acharya Shankar has actually described. So this is a long description. He has actually written a proper commentary on every chapter of Bhagavad Gita. But I am picking the most important part from every chapter, which needs to be highlighted. So from the first chapter, he talks about Shoka versus Moha. So what is Shoka? Shok means grief. The grief which comes at every level. At some point you feel that you didn't got that, or you didn't got what you want, or you lost what you had. Okay. And that's where one realizes the grip of Maya. You are not here to possess the Maya, but the moment you start possessing it, you enter into two things. You possess because of Moha. When you start possessing everything around, you start possessing the person. That's where you have Moha with the people. When you start possessing the things, that's where you have greed. You have greed for everything. When you start possessing that position, you have that ego, where when you hold on to that position, that glory which is sung for you, the name which you have made. And the main thing is that everything is going to change. So one day when you had glory, you will have disglory also, disgrace also. If you have chosen, the good things, bad thing, everything is complementary to each other, you will also get that. So until unless you are holding on to that one thing, you will get the opposite end also. The world is like a circle, like a mandala. If you hold one point, you are exactly getting the opposite point also with you. You cannot have them like a coin. When you are holding, you cannot hold it heads alone. When you take heads, tails will come along with it. You cannot hold a coin by separating heads and tails. Okay. So if you are taking heads, tails will come along with it. Okay. And that's why the moment you attached yourself with anything, you created the moha that brings shoka. Because that thing will be stolen one day. The time will steal you what you have. It will be taken away from you, and that's where you have the shoka. Oh, I had that robust body, that robust physique, and now I am weak. Oh, I used to be that, and now I am this. Oh, I used to be doing all these things. The glories were sung for me, and now I am to this. I am at this level where no one knows me. Everything which you possess will be taken away one day. And this is the biggest reality, that everything is going to change. And the moment you don't understand it, you will be gripped by shoka, you will be gripped by grief. And Arjun had this grief in the battlefield, that now everyone whom I know is going to end in this battlefield. I don't know whether I'll be there or not, but these people whom I worship, whom I actually admire a lot, they are also going to die in this battlefield. And how can I do this? Why I should be the reason for the end of these glorious people? They will never come for many millenniums ahead. How can I kill them? They are such divine beings. And that's where he asked Krishna that, can I take sannyas? at this point. I don't feel that I should fight. I think I should go to, a secluded place in Himalayas. I'll, do my japas, chanting. I'll do the tapas, and that's how I think I should attain the final uh, thing which I desire for. I don't want to fight. So he had this nishtha that I want to fight. I don't want to fight. I want to renounce the world. But at this point, Krishna stopped him. He said, "No, no, no, no. You are talking like a coward. How can you leave a battlefield in between? You are a kshatriya." He poked his ego first. So any time when one is gripped with shoka because of moha, first thing you can do is poking the ego. And that's where everyone does it. So when you are sad, mostly those who are not spiritual, everyone around you, they will say, "You are such a strong being. Why you are crying like a kid? Why you are crying like a, like a small kid? You are so much grown up, big. Why you are doing this?" Poking the ego is like a safety valve, and it brings one back. But but that poking of ego didn't bring Arjun back, and that's why we had Bhagavad Gita, the entire Gita, because the shock was so high that it couldn't be left just by poking of ego. And from this point, we understand the second thing, which is difference between Nishtha and Niyama. Adi Shankara, Krishna also had his cousin brother whom he took for his marriage. So his name was Arishtanemi. So Arishtanemi Bhagwan, who is also one of the highest Tirthankars of Jain tradition. So Arishtanemi Bhagwan was, about to get married, and when he was there in his wedding function, when he arrived there, he saw that uh, it is going to be a place where a lot of meat is going to be offered. So he realized that for this one function, so many animals were sacrificed just for this one royal wedding. And that gave him immense shock. He couldn't take that because of me and my wedding, I had so many animals sacrificed. I have to see this tremendous path. I want to do penance. And that's where he asked Krishna that I cannot take this worldly things ahead. Please allow me to go to sannyas and do my tapas penance and free myself from this grip of shoka. And actually, Krishna allowed him that you are right. You leave the world and do the tapas. But the same thing was asked by Arjun in the battlefield, and Krishna denied him that you cannot do it. You have to fight, and that's how you will attain the moksha. Without fighting in this battlefield, you will not attain the moksha. And that's where we have to understand that both Arishtanemi and Arjun had same nishtha. Nishtha means that resolution, that steadfastness, that one's firm resolve that I want to do this. They both wanted liberation, but he allowed one to do tapas, not the other one, because his tapas was there in the battlefield. Krishna is the highest guru who understands that how the individual being will merge in the supreme being. That's why he's guru. He's called Jagat Guru, who knows everything. So he knows the niyama. And that's where Adi Guru Shankaracharya emphasized on the second thing, that with nishtha alone you cannot attain salvation. Just by resolving, I want to free myself, you cannot free yourself. Because the merging of individual being in the supreme being is a process. It is not a one phenomenon which can happen anytime. It is a slow process which keeps going on. And the one who knows this process is Guru. So if you want the liberation in real, you have to go to Guru and trust his process. An enlightened Guru can only take you to this merging of individual and supreme being. He can only take you there to the feet of Shiva, but he gives the process, he gives the niyama to you. and you have to trust and follow that niyama. So here Krishna is the guru, and both Arjuna and Arishnimi are the one who had the nishtha. And he allowed one for tapas because he knew that Arishtanemi, for him, tapas is the way to, you know, attain the salvation or liberation. And he knew that for Arjun, it is not the way. The Karma Yoga is the way. He has to fight there, and by fighting and actually winning this war, he will go to, he is going to attain the moksha. So you have to trust the Guru and his process. Without that, this is impossible. And then at third point, he focuses on the dvandvas, inner conflicts. So what happens the moment you turn to niyama, you found a guru, you trust the process. Now you have the inner conflicts coming dvandvas in the form of doubts. Is the guru right? Is my process right? Is whether I'll do it or not, whether can I attain it or not. Everything which is keeping you away from the niyama is a dvandva, is the inner conflict. And then he reveals ahead that how to free yourself from dvandva and to focus on the niyama, and that's how you will attain the final goal. So these are the three important highlights from the first chapter. And next week on Sunday, we will now reveal the next layer where we discuss about the resolution of dvandvas which was taught by Adi Guru Shankaracharya. So thank you for coming here. Any questions you have? Anything you want to ask? I hope you learned something new. Okay, apart from the regular notion which we had. Okay.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. We'll watch the recording once you get it to
Yeah.
fully further absorb it.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay. Meenal Saraf is asking, is Atman and Jiva the same? Actually, you should go for this question itself. Okay, this you should not get an answer for this question. So this depends. See, Madhvacharya had this view. See, they are clearly different. Atman doesn't have karmas. Jiva has the karma. So definitely they are different. But moving ahead, we have Adi Shankaracharya who told that how can you see them separate? How was Jiva created? Who created Jiva? Who created Vishnu? It was Shiva itself. That's why Vishnu has Shiva Tattva in him. So if Vishnu, the Param Jiva Karaka, has the Shiva Tattva, so that Shiva Tattva is actually pervading everywhere. So that's how the Jiva and Atma are same. So if you just want a logical answer, you can have, but you should not look for this answer. You should contemplate on this question. That will lead you to some higher space. Yeah. Okay. Any other question? Any other thing anyone wants to ask? Okay. So I'll conclude the session and we'll definitely meet next week. We'll discuss about the resolution of dvandvas which was taught by Adi Guru Shankaracharya. Thank you.